Hello, my viewers all over the world. Hello, the fans of Majesty Christian Television Network. I salute you. I don't know whether to say good morning or good afternoon or good evening, but whichever time that is affecting you there, please just take the greeting. It is coming from a sincere heart. My name is Archbishop Dr. Henry Rodokenu, coming to you this hour for a discussion that is a bit controversial, but I know you can handle it. So please take up whatever you think you can relax with and go to your couch, sit and relax and let us deliberate on this issue as matured people. I don't expect anybody to take offense. Remember, this is media platform, so we are free to discuss issues as they play out all over the world. Our topic today is very, very crucial, and those who love truth will love it. And I believe that our panelists, they are loaded to tell us the truth we need to know about this topic. Each time you open the television, you will see a lot of things that are happening in third world countries. And you begin to wonder, why is it that some of our countries are almost 60 years, 70 years, and yet, when I mean 70 years, I'm talking about 70 years of not being colonized anymore, and yet you don't see any development. You don't see any development. When we live here and then we go to Africa, it's like you don't see what you're supposed to see. And then you ask yourself, we have all the mineral resources. God has blessed us with fertile land, blessed us with all the mineral resources you can think about. What is it that is making African continent not to develop? What is hindering the African countries not to develop? So I begin to wonder, and then I came to something. I said, could it be that religion is a major factor towards the underdevelopment or corruption in Africa? I repeat again, is religion by any means a major factor contributing to the underdevelopment or corruption that is hindering Africa or hindering countries in Africa to develop? If your answer is yes, then please pick up your phone and then WhatsApp us on 0684 606 550. If your answer is also no, please WhatsApp us. So I'm about to introduce my panelists to you. Please help us to receive. They are regular panelists, but I have a special person today, all the way from Africa. She is here to join us live on Majesty TV. So I introduce them to you. On my left, you have Elder Uyi, who is really a regular speaker of Majesty TV. Welcome, Elder Uyi.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Please, we appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
Please. So you have to know that when money hits Majesty TV, one day we will not eat alone. And then we also have Chief Nitaki, who is also a regular speaker of Majesty TV. I bet you these men and these women, they have contributed a lot in holding our hands, and we believe that they are making impact in our generation.
Thank you so much.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
You are leaving legacies that you don't know.
Yes.
Because as we finish, the thing goes into YouTube. And then, one day, you may go into YouTube and dig out some of these files and use it and make your own, whatever profile you want to make about yourself. Yeah. And the people come from generation to generation. They are reading you. They are seeing you. You are talking to them. Yeah.
Thank
you.
Welcome,
sir. Thank you so much for being here. And then our own auntie and the mother and the royal daughter. Hey. She's our coordinator, the coordinator of Royal Daughter Foundations. I mean, the foundation is shaking the generation of women at this time. So you meet Auntie Rejoice Doche.
Yeah.
Auntie Rejoice Doche is a regular speaker and panelist in Royal Daughters and at the same time Majesty TV. Welcome, please.
Thank you.
Yeah, we are so proud of you.
Amen.
Thank you for being here.
Amen.
And then all the way from Africa. I'm not gonna mention which part of the country before you go and begin to trace her, please. All the way, but you got to know You see how beautiful she is? Because sometimes when we see beautiful ladies, we say, "It's an American. This is one from United Kingdom of Africa." United Nation of Africa. Oh. She flew this and she arrived to be a blessing this afternoon to us. Please, ladies and gentlemen, help me to welcome Daniela Enna to our platform.
Thank you.
Tell us a little bit of who you are.
Okay, so definitely that would mean I would have to mention my country I come from. Okay, so my name is Daniela Enna, as rightly said, and I work with Ghana Health Service.
Okay.
Yes, and I happen to come here most of the times for holidays, especially. Yes, so I work with Ghana Health Service, as I said, specifically the Greater Accra Regional Hospital as an administrator.
Okay.
Yes.
Awesome.
Previously Ridge Hospital. I'm sure a lot of people know it as Ridge Hospital.
Yes. Awesome. So you're in the health sector.
Yes,
so are things really moving very fast the way they're supposed to move?
Not at all. Not at all.
You see, we are glad to have you here.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So the topic we mentioned our topic once again is religion a major factor to the underdevelopment or corruption that exists in the African countries. So that is our main topic. So before we dive into this issue, I want us to feel free to come spontaneously, because I will not be mentioning your names, come spontaneously and speak to the crowd, speak to them like your own people. Tell us exactly what is in your heart and don't allow anybody to hypnotize you. So, do you think Africa have problem? do you think we have problem of underdevelopment and also corruption?
Well, in my estimation, I think there had been, or permit me first to try to define religion.
No, the first question first, because we're gonna go to that one later.
All right.
Yes.
Like I started, in my estimation, religion has done a big harm to the continent of Africa.
No, is Africa having problem of underdevelopment or corruption? That's the first question.
Absolutely. Africa is underdeveloped compared to other continents.
Okay.
Africa is underdeveloped. And there had been a calculated effort by our colonizers to keep us in perpetual poverty.
Really?
By using religion as a tool.
Really?
Before the arrival of the colonialists to our continent, we were having our way of communicating to our God or worshiping God, so to say. But they came to Africa as if they intend to trade with the people of the continent, but instead they impose religion on us, telling us our way of worship is fetish, is inappropriate. So their religion they impose on us, Christianity and Islam. And that is the most modern way to get closer to our Creator or our God. But instead, they have an agenda to keep us perpetually underdeveloped.
Okay.
And use our mineral resources to their benefit.
Okay, that is from your own school of thought.
Yeah.
All right, thank you. So please, let's hear from others. So do you think Africa is underdeveloped and do you think Africa is corrupt? And in what way?
Well, you see, to be, in my own definition of underdevelopment,
yes,
it will be an understatement to ask if Africa as a continent generally is underdeveloped. Of course, we are too far, too in-depthly underdeveloped.
How?
In fact, we are underdeveloped in all ramifications. Right?
Really?
Yes, we are underdeveloped. We are far behind the other Committee of Nations of the world, other continents of the world.
Yes.
And like I said, we are underdeveloped in virtually all ramifications of human interest.
Wow.
For example, Africa is underdeveloped politically.
Yes.
The kind of, in fact, Africa is confused because the kind of democracy Africa appears to be campaigning about, that they are now practicing, is totally an exercise of confusion. We don't know if Africa is practicing the modern democracy or another brand of democracy that is
they borrowed from somewhere we don't know.
That we don't know where it came from.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
Because our leaders, our political leaders, are not behaving like Democrats.
No.
Okay? No. So we are totally politically underdeveloped.
Yes.
Then economically, we are so bastardized economically to the extent that we begin to wonder if the government of Africa or the African continent knows anything that has to do with economic development. Africa lacks industrialization. Africa lacks employment. Africa lacks economic stability. Africa lacks the purpose, the objective of harnessing all the endowments that God has given to the entire continent.
Yes.
Socially, Africa is also very, very underdeveloped, because right now you can see obviously that Africa used to be a very cultured, traditional, and very disciplined continent. Okay? Yes. People who fear God, what they believe is God. Okay, like the Almighty God, like in my own place, we say Osanobua. That is, everybody fears that name. Everybody reveres that name. Yeah. Okay? But later, things started changing, and Africa, our people started getting introduced to other social orientation that does not conform with our culture, with our custom, and with our traditions. And then we fell away. So, which means, obviously today, Africa is totally underdeveloped. So, even religiously, we don't know what we're even practicing in Africa. If it is religion, if it is occultism, if it is something we don't know that are being practiced today that they refer to as religion. So, in all ramifications of human endeavor and human interest, Africa is totally underdeveloped.
Yeah. Hey, a round of applause. I'm telling you, you really dissected it very, very, very well. Thank you so much. My God, look at such a brain. Oh, Jesus, help us, help us. And you are in the diaspora. I mean, yes. We're supposed to harness people like you in Africa.
But I told somebody that I was going to contest to make a change. They want me not to go because they will kill me because I'm too honest. I will not allow corruption. I will not belong to any occultic society.
Yes, exactly.
I will not steal money. And all those kind of things.
Exactly. Now let's go to the next. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was very elaborate, and I think we can move to the next question, which asks us to mention what are some of the religion, because probably somebody's out there listening to us, and the person doesn't really know what we are talking about. Yeah. Because when you talk about religion, just like Taki said, people say, can think it's only Christianity. Yeah. So what are some of the religions playing out in Africa till date that we know? Yeah, you can speak. Okay,
to start with, I think there are so many religions that Africans practice.
Yeah.
But majority of Africans, I think, practice both Christianity and Islamic religion. Okay. Aside that, there are a few, the indigenous African traditional religion.
Yes.
It's actually like the name says, indigenous. Yes. So that's actually the start or the first religion I think Africa had until colonization came in.
Yes.
And we've learned a lot of these other new religions from probably about how other things came into practice.
Yeah.
For instance, Africa now practices Hinduism, Buddhism, a lot more of them. So aside Christianity and Islamic religion, we have so many other religions that Africans practice now.
Yeah, in Africa.
Yeah, in Africa, yes. So
Would it be because of migration?
Migration also plays a major factor in that. But the most important is, I think, colonization and the practices we learn nowadays.
Yeah.
So now probably how do I even put it? I need to find a better word to explain how some of these things come into. So democracy, especially, for instance, we think that we are learning a lot more from these Western countries, but they are also infiltrating Africa with most of these their practices. They happen to be within their countries. So
really,
yeah.
So, but my question, not only to you but to all the panelists, what sort of religion did we have before? The indigenous African tradition. What is it all about? What is it all about? I can sit there and it was inactive and people are coming because we are trying to attribute our failures now to colonization. So if colonization came with religion, why didn't the one that we have, why couldn't it stand? Because if it was something that was really standing, how could it be so porous to allow religion to corrupt it, to allow colonization to corrupt it?
Yeah, to my opinion,
speak.
The olden or the African religion that was there before the colonization was our traditional, the voodoos and those traditional worship. With idols and so many sort of human sacrifices and all sorts of things. You know, there are different types of those African religions. Over there. But those of them, to me, what I believe, those of them that are not right, that were in fact abolished. Even as civilization is coming, you realize that some of the traditions are not good.
Like which one?
Like human sacrifices and all those things, which are not good.
But now they're still doing human sacrifices.
Some people are doing it in another. But at first it was a real open worship that they have been doing. It's not as secret as now. Now most of them, those occultic people, they don't come out boldly as how it used to be in the beginning. Now they organize themselves and do their secret things, which are the secret societies and all those things that are there. But now you can't do it that way. You can't do it because you catch somebody now and go and sacrifice, or you take somebody's child to go and sacrifice on your voodoo, or you'll be arrested.
But people are still doing those things.
They are still doing. That is why I'm saying that they do it in secret, in a way that a way that even if you are not very observant or something, like you will never know, or if they are not exposed, you will never see it. Because they are well organized.
Wow.
They are very well organized.
So
I personally don't want to accept the word discover. Because the white man came to our continent and they say they are discovering Africa. As if we are in the jungle. Or we don't know what is civilization. And they use the term they came to discover Africa.
But civilization came from Egypt, which is in Africa. The first civilization came from Egypt.
But they found out that Africans are vulnerable. So they impose their way of worship to us, like I said earlier, telling us our way of communicating with our maker or the superhuman is fetish, it is outdated, it is not right. So they impose the Bible on us. And in the Bible, it's a verse that says, a slave must humble himself to the master. and accept whatever the master says with humility.
Yes, it's true.
I once had an opportunity of visiting the castle at Kekos.
Yes.
And in the dungeon, there is no VC, no toilet, excuse me,
Yes.
nothing. And human beings are crammed into the dungeon.
Yes.
They defecate there, they urinate onto themselves. And the irony of the situation is that the commandant of the castle lives above the dungeon.
Yes.
And they will be worshipping on Sunday whilst the slaves are kept in the dungeon. After service, the commandant will come out, look among the ladies, and then select one. The guards will take her outside, and they use water hose to wash her down.
Jesus.
After washing her down, they send her to the commandant to spend the night there with him, to satisfy him in bed.
Yes.
The following morning, they bring her down into the dungeon. And, you know, they were using religion to keep us in perpetual slavery. And in the Bible, it is stated, do unto others what you want others to do unto you.
Yes.
But here is a situation, people are kept in the dungeon without toilet or VC or any facility. In their numbers, they're defecating and urinating in the dungeon, waiting for ships to come to be carted away like animals, whilst they are worshipping on top of the dungeons. So they use religion to enslave us by providing tobacco, mirror, cigarette, and other things to our chiefs. So a time came that our leaders on the continent were arresting people and selling them for tobacco, for cigarette, for mirror, and small items. So religion has done a very big harm on the continent. Today in Ghana, if you go to Kaneshi Market or Mokola Market, there are women who own shops there. They hire young girls and boys to take care of the shop. In the morning, she goes to the shop, look at the place, and leave to Odoko area, where there are about 5,000 churches. And they will go and pray Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, until Friday.
Yes.
And then Friday evening, she comes to the shop, and then the girl there, the sales girl there, will tell her what she has sold for the day.
Okay.
You know, they have inculcated into the African that you can pray to solve your problems, and then later you die, you go to heaven, and you walk on gold. While they are developing technologically.
Yes.
And we believe we can bring the city down by prayers. While they are using technology to advance, they keep us in that situation, exploiting our mineral resources and developing their continents.
So is it a
religion
in
has
Africa?
done
Is it
the
a
harm.
person in Africa that is practicing this aspect of religion you're talking about?
Yes.
But I still want to, yes.
So
still want to know.
I don't entirely agree with that anyway, because if let me put it this way, in answering your question about if these indigenous religious practices are still happening, I think they are still happening anyway.
Okay.
If we should bring somebody who practices any of those religions, I'm sure definitely they also try to defend their way. But in my opinion, everything has to do with our mindsets.
Yes.
So I think that our leaders, for instance, like what you were saying, probably in those days, like if if other people come to introduce their religion, it's because we accept it. And the very moment you accept it with your mind, definitely it means that you try and advocate or make your other believe. Because for instance, if I am a chief of a community and somebody comes to me to say that I want to introduce this to you, I'll give you this, I'll give you that, and I want you people to now start practicing what I am doing. If you had come against it as a community or as a society without any corrupt thought and all that, I don't think all these things would be here talking or discussing this today, because there's no way it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I always say to people that everything you do has to do with your mind and your thoughts. The very moment you accept something, it starts to work with you.
Yeah.
So, for instance, another example, we can't. I won't say that one religion is maybe better. That probably everybody, if they should bring different
Exactly.
people
They
from
will defend
each
their
religion,
Yes.
everybody will defend their religion and try
Yes.
to make it as the best religion ever.
It's true.
But we all have, I think, they all have their problems and they all have their advantages and disadvantages over each other. Anyway, so for instance, you also made, I think we also made mention of, how do I even put it? How others think that people use religion to as their everyday tool instead of working hard towards it. Like, let me put it that way. If I decide that this is what is going to work for me,
Yeah.
and I think it is my way of doing things,
Yeah.
if they are not seeing results, if I'm not seeing results in something that I'm doing, definitely I'm not going to keep going
Exactly.
back to the same thing and
Exactly.
doing the
It's true.
same thing over
Yes.
and over again. Because the very moment you keep doing the same thing and you're not getting results and you keep repeating it, I think
Permit
it's,
me to add this here.
I think it is
If you don't go to church today,
Yeah.
or you don't belong to a religious sect,
Yes.
you are seen as a devil, or you are as an outcast. We have accepted on the African continent
Yes.
the fact that every Sunday or Saturday or Friday you have to go to the mosque or you have to join a religious. If you don't belong to any religious association, you are seen as an outcast or a devil. So people use religion or Christianity to
advance their
agenda.
Really?
There are pastors in Ghana now. Some even produce colored eggs, and people have not seen an egg, yellow egg, red egg. They spray an egg, and they sell it to the unsuspecting church members.
Wow.
Yes.
See, this is where it comes in again. I think it's indiscipline.
And
It's the
majority of
indiscipline
the
amongst
culprits or the subjects are female women. They go there, some looking for husbands.
So
you
where are
see,
the men?
religion has
To me,
destroyed.
I don't agree with that because it is that as how my daughter said it. It's your mindset because most of the leaders use the religion to abuse the people.
Yes.
But excuse me to say, like the word of God is saying that what you have to descend. You have to, if someone comes to you and the person is talking to you, you have to descend. Even see whether what the person is saying, is it true or is false. Why should I do? You ask questions. But most of we Africans, we don't ask questions. We never ask questions. So if you come to me with this and that, you say, do this and that, you can't ask, why should I do this? Why, if I do it, what will happen? Why do you want me to do it? We don't ask. We just say then you go in bam, bam, bam. Before you realize you've gone down or you've gone high.
Okay, let me ask. Yes.
If I may quickly put in something here. My sister said, religion was brought in and we accepted. It wasn't really like that. For example, I can give an example of my kingdom.
Yes.
Where I came from a kingdom.
Yes.
In Nigeria,
Yeah.
where we have, it's on record up to tomorrow, in history.
Yes.
And on record, all over the world.
Yes.
That when the British came to introduce their religion to Benin Kingdom.
Yes.
They were resisted. Mm-hmm. The king said, we don't need your religion. Mm-hmm. We have a way of worshiping our God. And we know the Almighty God, the creator of the heavens and the earth. Mm-hmm. So, what are you introducing to us? Okay? We did not accept Christianity.
But eventually, has it been accepted?
Didn't they plant churches in Benin?
Everywhere.
They planted churches everywhere.
But not at that time. Excuse me. Not at that time. When they came initially, the traditional organization, the traditional hierarchy and leadership did not accept it. Because it was foreign. It was strange.
Yeah.
And we never believed in it. Because before these British people came, we had already organized our own traditional and cultural way of communicating, of relating, of worshiping, and of governing our people.
Yes.
Okay, religious wise. Okay, but what happened? when these British people came, the king referred to today, like all of you may have known, Oba Ovorame, was holding a traditional religious festival of the kingdom, a major. These British people came and said, "We want to see the Oba." The chief said, "You can't see him now. You can't see him because he is going through a very highly spiritual, religious ordinances for the kingdom." What happened? They invaded Benin Kingdom. These British people came, invaded Benin Kingdom, killed so many people, and kidnapped away the Oba who they took him to Calabar, and he died there.
Oh.
Okay, so we did not at any time accept the white man's religion because we knew from the beginning the wisdom of our forefathers knew this religion was destructive. This religion was strange. This religion had no affinity with the Almighty Creator. But you see, when they succeeded in killing, bringing war, kidnap the king away, destroy the entire kingdom, and stole away our artifacts, which they are now returning in pieces today. These are original artifacts they stole away when they invaded Benin Kingdom. Why did they invade us? They invaded us because we didn't accept their religion. Okay? Yes. Now, at the end of the day, after they have forced us, just like they have also, in one way or the other, forcing some of our nationalist, patriotic political leaders today to become puppets for the Western world. If you refuse, they kill you. Look at
their policies.
Yes. Look at Patrice Mulumba of Congo. Look at Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana. Look at Thomas Sankara of Burkina Faso. If you don't accept what they want you to do, they find a way to control you and eliminate you. So that was the same thing when they brought religion. We never wanted it. It was not good for us. We didn't believe in it. Okay, because we already had our own constituted traditional religion. And this traditional religion was effective.
You think we would have developed more?
Far more.
Do you mean that there are no practitioners of this indigenous religion?
We still have them today.
What are they doing?
Now listen, it doesn't work anymore.
They were just swallowed up.
No, it is not more effective. You know what? Because our people have been brainwashed to believe that the Western religion is neater, is more corporate, it's more
neater.
You know,
neater in what way?
you know, it's more accepted internationally and all that. But you see, in our traditional religion,
couldn't we have been able to process our own indigenous religion?
It's still being processed today.
I mean, be processed into a level of acceptance.
Yes.
Because you made mention of being neater. Then it quickly, I quickly projected my eyes, my spiritual eyes, to what you may be saying.
Yes.
Because there could have been so many sacrifices and bloodstains everywhere. Because when you go to these fetish people, that's a sort of shrine.
What are we talking about? What are we talking about? I mean, you see, until we face reality, we are going to just be wasting our time discussing the issue of religion. In the churches
are you saying that you love the shrine as dirty as it is?
Look, it was not. We
with
don't
the
call it shrine.
smelliness of it?
No. You see, we don't call it shrine.
What do we call it?
These are ordinances. These are traditional religious ordinances that were acceptable to the African spirituality foundation. Okay, for example.
That which smells?
It doesn't smell. It doesn't smell. Listen.
But we know now.
No, it
we
doesn't
know.
Smell.
You can kill a fowl and leave that fowl there for days.
What has that got to do with? What has that got to do with righteousness, uprightness, decency of the mind and conscience? Okay, you cannot tell me because I pour a wine on the libation of my forefathers, okay, and you come and call it fetish, whereas you hold the Bible, a big Bible like a dictionary, okay, and then you steal money. You preach what God did not tell you. You tell people what you never communicated with God, and God does not even know you. And then you come to tell the people that we are practicing and we are using the Bible.
No, yeah.
And you deceive the people, and you make them commit different kind of atrocities that would not be allowed in the traditional religious practice.
You see, when
Sorry, sir. For example, in our own religious traditional this thing,
Yeah.
if you look at the 10 Commandments,
Yes.
thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not covet your neighbor's property, thou shalt. All these things have earlier been enshrined in our African traditional religion, where a child is afraid to steal. You know what?
No.
A man is afraid to sleep with another person's wife. Somebody is afraid to bear false witness against his neighbor. You know why? We will not take you to the church or tell you to come and swear the Bible.
Also,
My forefathers,
open the door for them.
to know the truth, would rather take you to the shrine and say, if you are telling the truth, swear to this shrine. Okay? And look, if you swear to it, when you know you are not telling the truth, you die.
you see, madam,
You die. And we believe in today that if you sleep with another person's wife, today in my kingdom, in Benin today, till now, if you pay the bride price of a lady, and she goes behind you to commit adultery, she will die.
Yes.
Till now, till tomorrow, she will die. She will fall sick. Pastors' wives today sleep with different people and nothing happens to them.
Huh.
But they read the Bible.
You know,
You
that's
see-
why.
You see,
Go for no.
religion, the Western religion, brought so much destruction, so much indiscipline, so much corruption, so much confusion, and so much abnormalities into the lives of Africa. You know,
Can I ask something?
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Then why is it that where we are now, most of them they dash to also they also brought religion to Africa.
Yes.
But look at the way they are developing. Most of them they use the same Bible quotations
Yes.
to develop their own country here. But our
Yeah,
people
they
themselves are
came
corrupt.
To sap us.
You know, they are most of our, I'm coming please, most of our leaders are very, very much corrupt. Because you come and ask for loan, then you take all the money to develop your own country.
Yes.
Even the taxes you collect from the people in the country, you use it for your own personal use. And without, one moment, once you know that you go to church and you camouflage yourself
Exactly.
that you are going to church, once you are not worshiping the God that you have to worship.
we learned it
you
from
are-
the Western people.
No, because how do they do? They use it. I will not
They came
blame
to
them.
develop. What she's saying there is that they got the whatever they got, but they came to develop their own land. That's why we left Africa to come here, because here is developed.
Yeah, because
So how come
they take the money.
that
They
they are
take the
pointing
things.
religion
They are
and
worshiping
yet
them.
they
They are
can develop.
worshiping God,
keep
and
on
they are
saying-
developing.
Yes,
But why,
and
if they introduce those things to their God to us, we have to abide. The Bible says, as you said, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not do this and that and that and that. And most of our leaders, they just ignore all those things because of their own selfish
Yes.
means.
You see,
Not the Bible or the religion.
In every 12,
You know?
there will be a Judah.
They do
have
that just to
succeeded.
camouflage. But why they take their own big Bible and hold it as if they are going
For
to
me, I
church?
think
But
it's
why
time
they are
we
not?
stop
They are
playing
not.
the right people. It's time
After
we
They are
they
playing
have
religion.
succeeded in imposing religion to exploit us, now they are using LGBTQ as a tool. If you don't accept it, they withhold aid to you. When in Ghana,
The aid so far we've been taking, what did we do with it?
passed a bill.
Me, I will not blame them. I will blame our own
For
leaders.
60 years. How old is Ghana?
I will not blame them. I will
How
not
old is
blame the
Nigeria?
people who brought the religion, because we have to blame ourselves, our own mindset, because we refuse to be honest to ourselves. We refuse to recognize who you are, because if you know that I am Rejoice Akosta Doche, I have to be who I am.
Yeah.
If I know that I am capable to fix this light, I have to do it honestly with my whole heart.
Yes.
Not to look at somebody because you said, then this one, maybe the bulb is very good,
Because
I will
they
need
sit-
it.
they
Then
sit-
I
they
steal
go
the
to
bulb,
church, they
I
go to
take the
church
bulb away in
24/7.
the name of God.
All of the politicians,
You
they
steal
go to
it
church.
and you say this one is not good, so
let me
let me
say
buy
something
and
here.
bring
They're
another one.
Hindus.
Let me say something here.
They're
Even
Hindu-
our
they're
elections,
Judaism.
elections we
yet-
hold in Africa, we ask for money from the Western world to buy cocoa, to hold elections. And when you are vulnerable and you don't have
if you allow yourself,
No,
you will be
you
vulnerable.
don't have the means. You don't have the means.
No. We have everything.
I disagree, sir. I disagree.
No. That's why
I disagree with you. I disagree with you, sir.
No.
There's a lot of money or funds in Africa, but what do we use them for?
Yes.
For
Let
example,
us speak.
even aside the Christianity, for instance, let me take Nigeria for example.
Yes.
We learnt all these colonization and stuff or religions from our colonial masters.
Yes.
For instance, Islam. See Boko Haram.
Yeah.
You say that
Look at
if girl female students go to school, you capture them, abduct them, and do
Can
other
rape
things.
them.
Meanwhile, these same colonial masters used education for something more profitable. But what are we using these things we learn from them for? We use them for, excuse me to say, distraction or other bad things.
Yes. Now I will tell you.
Our military. The moment they capture a place, the first thing they want to do is to sleep with all the women.
Or
Let me
another positive example. Jesus. Let's look at Rwanda. Let's look at what Paul Kagame is doing in Rwanda.
Yes, exactly.
So are we trying to say that Rwanda is a country that has suffered a lot of wars and other things? But see them today, they are way better than most of the African countries that we think that they are even developing even now. You see, so it is because their leaders have stood to say
we are
that.
Talking now.
Yes.
There are people who are opposing Kagame that he's become a dictator.
Because he's doing the right thing.
He was.
Look at our society here, even our own society over here.
Yes.
You are in Ga-Adangbe because if you speak the truth is reflecting back to them. So they will hate you for your truth.
Yes. Yes.
I'm not saying that Ga-Adangbe is not good. It's good. But to me, what I have seen or what I have heard, that is what I am trying to say. You know, because you are speaking the truth, some people will not like you. Some people will like you.
Look, the world is corrupt.
So it's the whole world. It's not
everywhere.
It's not that this.
I don't think we are disputing the fact that corruption is just in Africa. I think corruption is actually everywhere. But how we don't have, excuse me to say, Africa, for instance, we don't have the system of checks and balances.
Exactly.
That is what is making us look like, or maybe Africa is either underdeveloped because of either a factor like religion or some other things. So I think if just like the Western world have the systematic checks and balances that I think that they are using, I'm sure if they should catch you here today for doing something criminal, or even leaders, for instance, they either step down themselves because they think that there's a wrong thing that has been done. But it is not in Africa. Look at Ghana, even our own Ghana, for instance. See a minister that was caught with so much money in the house. What has happened?
Cecilia Dapa.
Cecilia Dapa was caught with so much money in her house. This is High Court or court saying that they should release the funds back to her because it is something. I feel we have
there is still I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No efficiency.
You see, there is still this implication.
No rule of law.
There is still this implication, the lingering implication of the Western world. Now we are talking about the effect of religion specifically on the underdevelopment of Africa.
And we are saying that, me for instance, I think that religion is not
the cause of our underdevelopment.
Yeah, I don't think so.
What are some of the issues affecting us then? Apart from what are some of the issues?
Look, religion is part of
indiscipline. That is one to me.
Yes.
As Africans, we are so indisciplined.
We lack technology. We have the resources.
No. And we are talking about religion now.
No. Wait, let me land here. Since time immemorial, before I was born, we were exporting cocoa raw in the beans, coffee raw in the beans from the whole African continent. All our resources up. We don't add value to it.
Yes.
You know, we send them all raw. Timber, everything raw.
And
these whites will process it, add value, and then we go and buy with hard currency.
That has nothing to do with religion. That has nothing to do with religion.
Because we have accepted their religion and their...
No, that's why I don't agree.
No.
That's why I don't agree with it.
That has nothing to do with the religious orientation. It has to do with our political will.
Yeah.
No, that we have refused to implement.
They first use religion
No. Listen, sir.
Keep us in perpetual poverty.
You see, the problem is this. When they brought this religion, you see, when something is clean and you come to infiltrate it with poisonous seeds, okay? In the days of our forefathers, we never knew how to commit armed robbery. We never knew it. We never knew how to go into people's house and kill them and take their money with a gun. It is these white people, when they brought religion, they didn't only bring religion, they brought
A whole
crime along with it. They intertwined this religion with crime, with how to commit evil in a more sophisticated manner. Okay? That was how Africa gradually became corrupt. Listen, when you corrupt a system, through whichever means, the system is already corrupt. Yes. And these corrupt people who have now, who were hitherto disciplined, who are now corrupt, would metamorphose that same corruption you have introduced to them to become something. They will advance in it and become very much more corrupt. That is the beginning of the problem of Africa. And this has transcended into, like I said earlier, transcend into the political, the social, the economic domains.
Yes, exactly.
So, you know,
okay? And it has caused the disaster of underdevelopment we have in Africa today.
Okay. And it will become permanent.
It's permanent.
Because when they finish their political time, their era, they plant their sons and their daughters. So the thing goes from generation to generation.
Yeah, so
of
that's
government,
why I am saying
of
that
corruption.
Probably religion, it has its way of inculcating the good things or the good behaviors in us, but the problem is the systems that check all these things. If the systems are not there, we always say that this is not rightly done, or maybe now they've been able to give maybe guns and all those things, but there should be systems that we should have, like a proper checks and balances.
Yes. How can one person be richer than a country?
Like, for example, here,
because somebody is richer than a country, that's why you can buy Boko Haram.
Yeah. Yes.
And they use Boko Haram to be terrorizing the whole country. So if we have checks and balances, as she said, then when you are grossly enriched, we will bring you to
Madam,
explanation. You have to
when you talk
explain,
about checks
where
and balances,
did you get this money?
Corruption in Ghana, somebody hasn't actually touched a steering wheel before, but she can own a license because she has the money to bribe the officers there, and then she will be issued with a driving license.
And it can never happen here.
It can never happen here.
Because of the
That's what she's saying.
That is all I am trying to say.
Yes.
Like, we are all saying the same thing,
Yes.
but probably we are not trying to bring it right. Like, if we have the proper systems, all these things will not happen.
But
like here,
unfortunately, we don't. Even for instance,
and they are not ready to walk through
even
it.
as young guys, let me even put it, maybe children even writing our basic school examinations. You see them, either they are selling papers or they are copying in the examination. It starts from that basic level.
Yes.
Then how much more you grown up?
Yes.
So you see,
even during our time, you can never go and buy exam papers.
And who is selling the exam papers
to you? You know, because the education system has been destroyed, the children are not learning. They say free education, which is not well implemented. So the people are some of the children, they go to school 2 weeks, they come back, another group has to go. So all the time you are paying, they say free education. Why free education? Why you don't plan the things very well? Here the children are going to school. You know that as a parent, by 8 o'clock, your child has to be in school. Yes. Where in Africa do they do this? Because they don't care. The education system has been corrupt. So you have to.
Houses we build in Africa. Look at how we put houses even at the center of the road. And we have
where there is road, someone will say that they will go to town planning and say that no, this place I brought it, so you divert the road to somewhere. Maybe that place is a river passage. When it is raining, the water has to pass there. You go and
do it. The $1 million question is it religion that is causing the development in Africa? Or the system being corrupt in Africa?
No, it's not religion.
It's not religion.
Religion is a contributing factor, but not religion that has caused development in Africa.
For example,
religion is not the cause.
One moment, for example,
Africa is not working. Look, you can use money if you are rich. You can have access to whatever institution because you have money.
Look at what you said.
Because you are being truthful.
For example, there was a government in Nigeria many years ago. It was a military government. You know what they were doing?
No.
The government steals money. They steal a lot.
We have just 5 minutes to wrap up this.
They steal a lot. You know what they did? Because you see, this issue of check and balances that you're talking about, these people steal billions of dollars. hundreds of millions of dollars from the government. They use political positions to steal. But what do they do with it? Now, if I'm scared of checks and balances and probe, if I steal this money, where do I keep it? They will probe me and I will be made to give account.
Yeah.
You know what they were doing in Nigeria? They steal so much money needed for the development of the country, and they take it to church accounts. Okay? They call the church leader. They buy him a private jet.
Oyadepo.
And these churches have branches in England, in America, and all those places.
They
And
channel
then
the money through the church outside.
the corrupt political leaders steal so much money and pay this money into church accounts.
Oh,
Because church are
Are you
registered.
sure of what you're
Yes. Church are registered as non-governmental and non-profitable organizations, as charity organizations everywhere.
yes.
Now these people steal so much money from the government, money needed for hospitals, schools, and everything, and they pay it into
Roads.
church
They launder the
accounts.
money through the church and the
Okay,
car-
and they write it as charitable contribution, charity contribution to the work of God. But it's not. They buy this, they pay these church leaders with private jets, with mansions, and with commission.
Hey.
If I steal $20 billion, and I tell you, as the head of this church,
I'll give you.
I will pay it into your account abroad, not even in Nigeria,
Yes.
and I will buy you a private jet. I will do this, I will do that. I will be able to influence you getting 10 acres of land to build your permanent site of your church in the social area of this country, and you are set. These politicians would not have been having too many places to hide money,
So
but they were hiding
that
it
is
in
where
church accounts.
I think the discipline comes. For instance,
Yeah.
if you want to be a political, so if we have the proper checks, for if I want to be a politician, one, I have to declare my assets.
Yes, exactly.
Then you let everybody, this is what I had before
That's what we
becoming a
told them to
politician.
do.
Yes.
They're still doing that.
And this is what I need to know, and I'm still having this. But if all of a sudden I become a politician in 4 years, I'm able
Yes.
to acquire all these
All of
things. There
this.
should
Where
be
did you
question
get
marks.
this from?
Yeah.
Where did
There
you
should be
get this
question
from?
marks.
Yes.
You
And
see?
when they set a board to inquire about those things, that board should not be corrupted.
Or
Yeah.
even
So
have,
what do we see?
or even be
Africans-
part.
The
Yeah.
politicians buy them over.
Yeah.
Over.
EFCC, they bought them over.
Over.
You know, anything that is being set up, they buy them over quickly.
That which is not right.
Bishop,
That
let
is
me tell
why
you this.
that is why I am saying that most of those people, they will account for it. And one thing they account for it is that why, as a man or woman of God, why should you allow yourself to be influenced with worldly things?
For that
What-
man,
A friend
not
of
Africa.
mine in England, my
No,
sister.
because you are giving an example
Yes.
to your congrats or to the congregation.
Yes, yes.
Because if someone brings me money now that, oh, you know, help
this
me,
for me.
hide this, hide this money for me, blah blah blah. First, I will be afraid. If I have good conscience, I will be afraid to do that. It's where from this money? Then
But how
what
are
about
they
if
doing it?
something?
Because we are in a country whereby if you have some certain amount of money in your bank account, they are already calling you
Yeah.
to come and they probe you to know you must give account of how this money is.
yeah.
So how
Even
come
look
our
at the
politicians
country where we
able
are
to be
here.
hiding these billions?
Yes,
You cannot.
It's a contribution to the church.
No, forget about me now as a church.
Yeah.
I'm
In Holland,
I'm a church leader now.
if you are driving a big car,
Yeah.
the police
You're
can
talking the
stop
context
you
of how
and
it
ask
is
you
in
how
Europe.
you acquired
How does
that
it
car.
But it can never
You
happen
see,
in Africa.
it cannot happen in Africa. Here, when you are driving an expensive car, the police can stop you
Yes.
and ask, what work do you do?
No, they
How
ask
did
also
you?
in Africa, they
But
give you-
Africa, it can never happen.
Usually,
Because the person
They
driving
do.
that car
They
have
do.
connections in
everywhere.
authorities.
Otherwise, they will start with their
You
sons
see,
and daughters.
so the system is such that we are doing harm to our own selves.
Yeah, it is we ourselves, please. Me, it's not religion. It is we ourselves, our mindset, because what we don't have to do, we are doing. Because if you come to me that I should do this, I said no. Tomorrow you have to stand strong.
So what
whether you
then
like
do
it or
you
not,
do?
you have to stand strong and say
Politicians
that
give
no.
money to these pastors
You know.
and reverend ministers to prophesy. Though this party
No,
will
no,
win
no,
power.
no, no.
This party
Because
will win
to
power.
me, if you
And
prophesy
the-
to me, I'll go back to the Bible to find out
Oh.
whether that is my understanding.
yes,
that
yes,
what
yes.
you are telling me, is it true?
Yeah.
Does it correspond to the word of God?
God.
Because most of us we are lazy.
Yes,
We are lazy to
They
read
have
the
used
word.
religion and the Bible
We are
to
lazy.
exploit us.
Yes.
No, they are
election is
lazy.
coming,
So you
they
have to
need-
find out. You have to do
When
your
the
own
election is
research.
coming, they
But
need
if
to
you
go
don't
to
do
all
your
the churches.
research, how can you understand it?
The gospel of prosperity,
Okay. That's another one.
the gospel of the sermons and the gospel of prosperity has caused more harm than good in Africa. And that has you see, when a system becomes corrupt, the subjects, the members, the society suffers. Okay? Now, why would a church build an auditorium, for example, of
$20,000
$300 million spent to build an auditorium for a church?
Yes.
Why the community where that auditorium was
People
built
are unemployed.
are hungry?
And people
Poor.
are unemployed.
We have misplaced
Is that
priorities.
Christianity, for God's
that's also
sake?
another one.
Now-
It means that our priorities are not well
Because
placed.
you see,
Exactly.
the prosperity gospel, how did it come to Africa? How?
Yeah.
You know, the
It came
Bible
from
says that
abroad.
if you are lazy, you should not work.
Yeah.
You should not eat.
Yes.
Yes.
Because look at the bee. God has given us a sample of the bee or the ants. Look at them. They go up and down every day. You see a bee in line, bees going, and the ants in line looking for food up
Most
and
of
down.
our
But we
well-to-do
ourselves,
pastors in Africa,
please one moment.
they don't work.
We refuse to work.
What-
From
what-
Monday to
Our
Sunday,
pastors and
every
reverend
day,
ministers in Africa or in Ghana particularly, they don't work.
But here we work.
we
Here,
work.
you
Look
work.
at me, I'm working.
Even
Yes.
for example, my
Yes.
pastor has his own cleaning company. He's working 24 hours. He himself, you see him cleaning people's windows.
Yes, we work.
He works.
We work.
So he is not.
Religion-
He will never
Work.
depend on church money to eat.
Yes.
Religion has contributed to the corruption in Africa,
Africa.
and wherever there is
But you
corruption,
know, the more
people
we
will
keep
suffer.
talking
Because
about
the
religion,
way they put our
I hate
mentality.
the way we are just only focusing it on church. It's not just
No,
about
we are
church.
talking about religion.
Yes.
Talking about religion.
Yeah,
You know, it's not about church.
but it's like you guys are only focusing on church.
Yeah,
church,
because
church.
the one
You
of
don't
the
see
church.
anything the Muslim people are
No,
doing.
no, the
Or
one
the
of
Pakistanis.
Look,
no, the
if
one
you
of the
go to
church
the
has
mosque,
become too exaggerated.
Oh,
If you go
Yes.
to the mosque,
How many?
they don't
sorry,
solicit
sir.
for money.
How many imams
They
have you
only
seen?
make an announcement, oh, the church, the mosque want to do this, and
And
people
money
start
comes in.
donating. The members start donating without asking them. You know,
How many imams
if you
have
go to the
seen?
mosque here,
How many imams anywhere in the world have you seen driving Lamborghini as his own personal car?
they
drive.
don't do that.
No.
Oh, they
How
drive
many
expensive
imams?
cars,
How many
Please, they
imams
drive
have you?
expensive cars.
Yes,
They give to their
but,
wives.
but how many imams have you seen having private jets? They don't. There's no one. Okay. So how many imams have you seen that lives in an imam of a mosque who lives in a $250 million mansion, his private house?
Because they believe they can die anytime.
You see,
And they go to
religion, when the gospel of prosperity came, it started in America.
Yes.
It went to England. It went to other Western world. Okay, and our pastors, church leaders in Africa,
Adopted it and were
took
using
those
it.
ones as their mentors, and they led corruption from the Western world. We didn't have gospel of prosperity in Africa. Okay, we never had it.
Well, that's going to be a topic
Okay.
for another
We
day.
learned it. We learned corruption in the church. We learned how to tell lies with the Bible. We learned how to give fake prophecies from the Western world. When the gospel of prosperity infiltrated into the African religious system.
And to pray
That is why you
24/7.
have to test the spirits where
And
you
to
go.
pray
That is
24.
why if you go to a church, you have to
And to pray
look and see whether
24/7.
that thing is right or not. That the place you have gone is
Okay.
right or not, because there are the Bible says there will be a lot of fake prophets throughout the whole
How
world.
many people read the
But
Bible?
all of
Ghana
these
today-
leaders-
That is our
Ghana
laziness.
today,
No, but all of
We
these
have to
leaders.
there is
Permit me to say they
Yeah.
go to
People-
church. All of these leaders.
Yeah.
people,
All of them.
Yeah.
They
a
go to
group
church,
has emerged
they go to
in
mosque,
Ghana.
they go
Some
to
people
mosque.
they are just church goers.
24/7. They are in
Most
church.
of the people are just
A
church
group has
goers.
emerged in Ghana.
They are not Christians or
They-
nothing.
they
They
know
just
that.
church goers. They sew a new dress. They just go and show forth with their money. If they are calling for offering or they are raising
the
funds,
world doesn't
they just
benefit
big.
them. The
They
word of
just
God
big.
doesn't reach
No.
them.
Someone
When he
even
leaves the
here.
church and that night is going to a secret court meeting.
May God help us.
Even you that the person should go out from the church house, you meet him, what word came out today? What did the pastor say? What did they preach about? You just, today, the pastor was so good. He preached very well. The person, even one Bible quotation, the person can never tell you.
They don't read their Bibles.
Because the mind is not there. The word of God that is coming to them to hold on to, it doesn't enter.
No. You see,
they don't even read the Bible. They don't read the Bible at all.
Questioning Christianity. They call them CSF, common sense family. They say there is no God, there is no Jesus, there is no Bible, there's not. Don't believe in those things. You see,
that's why
people are questioning things now. They are asking questions.
Yeah, but that doesn't make sense.
Yeah. After you question the things, what do you use?
You know it. The common sense family.
The man who wrote that book, Darwin or what? That there is no God, we are from monkeys and blah blah. Last minute he accepted Christ before he died.
Yes. The theory of evolution.
He accepted Christ before he died because he confused a lot of people, but last minute he has realized that there is something called Christ Jesus, and he accepted him before he died.
You have problem with Christianity.
No. Religion. I say religion.
Because you keep talking about Christianity.
No, when you talk about Christianity or Islam, they are all under religion.
Yes.
And they are using that religion
but I don't see you mention
exploiters.
Yes.
Yes. You see, Bishop, let me give you an instance.
Yes.
Let me quickly say this. Let us, when we want to become pastors, okay, when we want to be ordained as pastors, if it is possible, let us try this strategy and see if development and decency will not come back to Africa. Before you are ordained, don't get ordained with the Bible or one religious book. Stay there and swear to the sanctity and spirituality of the African ancestral spirits.
That's
that is it.
They won't accept this.
Listen.
They won't accept this.
Oh my God.
Yes.
No, but
that one we got discipline.
Yeah, swear to it. We are not talking about religion. It's not Bible or
you say African ancestral. That one is also a spirit.
Because when
you are pouring your libation, you are worshiping
it's not a religion. It's a spirituality.
No.
It's not a religion.
That's African traditional religion. No, say that's their practice.
Let us try it. Let us ordain pastors, leaders of God, with swearing to African ancestral spirits. Let the presidents of the country, the senators, the governors, the ministers, the House of Assembly, all of them swear to African spirituality to lead.
Do these civilized countries we live in now, do they do all that?
No, we are not in the civilized nation.
They don't do that.
No, we don't have the same precepts. We don't live with the right precepts. We are not in the Western world. We live in Africa, and we must do what fits and conform with the African environment. Otherwise, we are wasting our time.
In Ghana, they do some of these, especially when they are swearing in presidents and other things. They pray. The traditionalists come to pray. The Islams come to pray. The Christians come to pray. They do all these things, but yes, there's still corruption.
No, what he is saying is that they have to swear. The swearing part of it, swear means that you are swearing with a deity higher than you.
Before we were given Dutch nationality, we swore an oath.
Yes.
Otherwise, they will not give you.
Renounce only your citizenship. Before they will accept you.
Let it be in Africa. Let the government swear by the African spirituality, the ancestral powers of the African continent.
Like Benin,
They will all die. They will steal and die. Steal and die. Steal and die. You will see that corruption will go.
It's true.
I'm telling you.
In our court, you swear an oath with the Bible, not at the fetish priest. And people go to court, swear with the Bible, and tell lies.
That is why it scares upon them. That is why most of them, their lives has become something else.
Don't you see what's happening to them?
Their lives are, even most of these ministers who have been stealing money and all those things, their children end up like drug addicts, becomes drug addicts because the money was there. The money is there. They use it for drugs and all those nonsense. And last minute they become junkies. So which means you didn't do anything good. It doesn't benefit you
at all.
So why won't you concentrate on God and be honest to yourself and to your nation and to the people whom you have promised to serve? And we are using religion to cover up, to destroy our own continent.
And they are destroying also themselves.
Yes.
Well, that's where we are coming to an end.
Thank you.
Today. Because if I would allow us, I
We'll
think
go on
we'll
and go
go
on.
on and go on. But this is just
A teaser.
a teaser. So I think we will need to, deliberate more on this issue.
Sure.
And probably we can use the media to effect a change. If we begin to bring these things to focus, I believe that a lot will change.
Yeah.
So don't give up. None of us will give up. Amen. We will not give up. We will look forward onto seeing a better continent, Africa, one day.
Yes.
I believe in that. So thank you, my panelists,
Thank you.
for doing justice to this topic. Thank you.
Thank you.
It was 55 minutes hot time of deliberation, but it was powerful. It's worth it. So God bless you all,
Thank you.
thank you for being with us again.
Yes.
And those of you who have watched us from Majesty TV, please stay tuned. And remember, by this time next week, we are coming to you with a continuation of this topic. God richly bless you, and bye for now.
Bye.
Right.
Thank you.